Why don't I give you a news story off of Afghanistan for just Beck listeners? I didn't even do this on my show yet, the No Spin News.
All right.
Okay? So this is an exclusive for you guys.
Okay.
So going forward, you have to anticipate that after Labor Day, next Tuesday, when people get back from the nice long weekend, that the Afghan story will decline. The conservative media will try to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Anything the Taliban does that there's video support for will be on the conservative media, but it will not be on the corporate media.
Yes.
On Wednesday, CBS News didn't cover one thing about Afghanistan in its nightly news broadcast. Not
unbelievable.
One. Yeah, so that's number one. You're not going to hear Afghanistan much after Labor Day.
I agree.
However, one big thing has happened. That is, if there is a terror attack on the United States any time during the Biden administration, Joe Biden will be directly blamed. Even if it isn't his fault, even if it doesn't emanate from Afghanistan, any terror attack on the USA will be laid right at Biden's doorstep. That is a big change because in the past, when the United States has been attacked, citizens have rallied around the commander-in-chief. And we saw that with Bush the younger. We saw that with Obama. Now, thank God we didn't have a real terror attack under Trump. And it would have been interesting to see how the hate Trumpers would have covered that. But now Biden is going to be responsible for anything that happens on a foreign basis that kills Americans. And there's nothing he can do about it.
Bill, let me, it's interesting. I was listening to Dave Rubin, his podcast this morning driving in, because it was the first day back. He takes a month off and does not look at any newspaper, television, internet, nothing for a month. And then his first day back, he picks somebody to brief him on what happened. And this year, I've briefed him before. He had Adam Carolla brief him this time around. And I really wanted to see it because I wanted to see his reaction of, wait, the Taliban did what? Biden did what? How is this happening? I mean, he was completely taken aback. But what I noticed, his questions were all about the media. He would say, okay, that's horrible, 13 dead, and there's nothing I can say that is it. I'm curious, how is the media spinning this? It was weird to hear, but I think he was right that is the real story here in America, is the media, because it is so political, which is crazy bad. I want to give you one story that they just will not cover, and that is the phone call that happened between Ghani and Biden. Do you think there's anything there that this is a story?
The phone call story?
Yes.
Yeah, certainly, because you can now make a case beyond any reasonable doubt that Biden knew Afghanistan was in trouble and at the same time was telling Americans that Afghanistan was not in trouble.
And he also told a foreign leader to lie, even if it's not true.
That's almost a step too far for me because I really stay in a disciplined box.
Well, wait. Tell me what it means of you have to say good things are happening, even if it's not true. That's
right.
That's just couching. That's just being politically correct on, even if you have to lie about it.
What he was saying in the context of the whole conversation, and that's how you have to always evaluate any kind of accusation about a lie, is that Ghani needs to put forth a strong faith and that his central government has to say, we are in control, we are going to fight back this threat. Now, when he throws in, even if it's not true, he's not saying that it's inevitable the Taliban will take over at that point. Remember, this is in July. This phone call.
Yeah, I know.
He's saying that if you don't put forth that confident point of view, inevitably you will get booted out. So I'm not going to say that Biden lied and told
Ghani to lie.
What I'm going to say is that Biden knew the odds were that Afghanistan was going to go down, and yet he went on worldwide television and said the opposite.
So would you go as far as saying that he lied to us?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. But with a caveat, and I've said this from the very beginning, I take a lot of heat. I don't think Biden remembers what he said yesterday. And then that's the big story to me, is that the president of the United States doesn't remember what he said 5 hours ago. And so I ran the Trump commercial. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Okay. I ran it last night on the No Spin News. I want every one of your listeners, after they finish listening to you, to go to BillO'Reilly.com and to watch the 1 minute, 10-second spot that the Trump PAC put out. It's devastating. And it's all about Biden. It is absolutely devastating. Got it exclusively. They sent it to me. I ran it last night. The big story is that we have a president who cannot retain information or remember what he says from day to day. That is the big story to come out of this. The second big story is the humanitarian disaster. The third big story is what you just mentioned about the media. Now, I had Bernie Goldberg on the No Spin News last night to talk about this, so you and I are in sync. And here's some interesting data. So the Washington Post, which literally begged its readership to vote for Joe Biden in last November, they begged them to do it, has turned on Biden and scorched him over Afghanistan. The Wall Street Journal actually said that Biden is a dishonest man, putting him in the Richard Nixon category.
No.
But the New York Times hasn't said a word in almost 3 weeks. Not an editorial word. So I explained to Bernie, who I think knows this, that the New York Times cannot do it because 100% of its revenue flow comes from liberal people who like Joe Biden.
Yes.
Now, the Washington Post is in somewhat of the same situation, but because they are on the ropes, that newspaper is on the ropes for its unbelievable advocacy toward Biden when he was running, it almost had to cover its butt here. But then we'll go back to CBS News not even mentioning Afghanistan on Wednesday night. That is, I mean, I've been in this business a long time. I worked as a correspondent for CBS and ABC. But, I mean, it's almost impossible. Yeah, you had Ida, you had all that, you had the weather, but you can't shoehorn in a 3-minute update on Afghanistan on Wednesday night? That was a conscious decision to get away from the story. And ABC and NBC will follow closely behind.
So what is the story in Afghanistan right now? If you were the editor, what is today's story or one that just needs to be covered that isn't being covered?
How the Taliban is consolidating its power and how they are rooting out so-called subversives, Afghan people who help the United States or who are secularists, who are educators, former police officers, how they're doing that. That is the story now. But you're not going to hear it because there's no correspondence there, because the Taliban doesn't allow that. So if they catch you feeding stuff out or tweeting or emailing or whatever, they'll cut your head off. There's no due process in Afghanistan. If the Taliban commander in Kandahar wants to kill you, the Taliban commander kills you. See, people don't understand that now in Afghanistan, all human rights are done because of Joe Biden. There's not one human right that remains in this entire country. And how fast did that happen? 3 weeks. Because of Joe Biden.